What's up, everybody? This is Sunko, the Korean bro. Today is 2022, December 9th. Hmm. What I'm gonna do first is look at YahooFinance.com because it's been long since I saw this one last time. Um, let's see, okay? Hmm. Carvana could run out of cash within months. Stock futures reverse gains after surprise inflation red. Hmm. Tesla's troubles are piling up while Musk is distracted with Twitter. Hmm. Dow Jones futures reverse lower on high inflation data. Lululemon dives on earnings. JP Morgan says these two stocks could surge over 90% from current levels. Hmm. If you want to be really, use this three Warren Buffett trading technique that no one ever talks about. Okay. Stocks moving the most today: Activision, DocuSign, Lululemon, Bath and Body Works, and more. Kathy Wood's ETF lost investors more than $1 billion before this year's wipeout. Investors lose trillions as founders run 16 stocks into the ground. Stock futures retreat after a high inflation report. Markets wrap. Stock futures sleep as producer prices rise more than expected. The blue chip dividend stock just got upgraded. Here's why it's a buy now. Carvana Daphne offensive alarms about possible bankruptcy. Okay. Hmm. Let's look at Carvana. Okay. Carvana. This is your wait, Carvana. Mm, Carvana could run out of cash with a month's endless. The only thing Carvana may be delivering in the months ahead is more pain to investors. Okay. Mm. The online used car seller, a former pandemic darling that has now become one of the most hated stocks on Wall Street, as if fights for its survival. Mm. Is on the cusp of running out of cash. Jefferies analyst John Continuation warned in a note. For perspective, our model has Carvana running out of cash in first quarter 23 without an additional infusion. Um, the deterioration in liquidity was precipitated by worsening unit economics and higher interest payments. Following the $3.275 billion debt, issuance in May 2022 tied to the U.S. This acquisition. The company ended the third quarter with $477 million in cash. So far in 2022, Carvana's free cash flow has been an outflow of more than $1 billion. A challenging restructuring process is a likely next step. The restructuring process is likely to negatively impact the values of existing equity. Carla Tony added, "We anticipate the restructuring process will be the primary determinant of the stock price, with fundamentals as a distant secondary factor." Carvana stock traded at a record high of $361 in August 2021 as people purchased cars online to coincide with moves out of cities during the COVID-19 pandemic before falling sharply as the business deteriorated. For the 9 months that ended September 30, Carvana's net loss clocked in at a whopping $1.45 billion. Group of Carvana's 10 biggest lenders holding around $4 billion of the company's unsecured debt reportedly made a 3-month pact to act together in the case of restructuring. Carvana is not involved in any cooperative agreement amongst bondholders, and we will not be addressing any questions that arise from actions taken by such bondholders. A Carvana spokesperson told Yahoo Finance, "Our message to our customers, shareholders, employees, and other stakeholders remains clear. We're singularly focused on executing on the plan to profitability outlined in our Q3 shareholder letter, and we have substantial liquidity to get us there. In no way does today's news change that strategy." Didn't return Yahoo Finance request to discuss the company's troubles. Okay. When you are throwing around the kind of cash that's measured in billions, scooping up shares of promising emerging companies won't work. Shares of small cap growth stocks at companies typically worth $300 million to $2 billion would simply move too much. If the Oracle of Omaha made a purchase that was big enough to make it worth his while, I have to look for elephants, Buffett once said in discussing his investment options. It may be that the elephants are not as attractive as the mosquitoes, but that is the universe I must live in. Of course, it wasn't always like that. Buffett started out his career primarily investing in small cap companies. He invested more than half of his net worth in Geico when he was still relatively small, in 1951 at the age of 20. One reason those so-called mosquitoes are attractive is because shares demonstrate the most growth in the early days of the company operation. But just because those little outfits are off limits to Buffett today doesn't mean you can't go after them. Stock futures retreat after hot inflation report, markets rep. Stock futures remain under pressure as data signaling persistently high inflation bolstered the speculation on the Federal Reserve will keep its monetary policy tighter for longer. With traders on edge, any indication that prices remain elevated and that inflation is more sticky than currently believed is a negative for markets, said Chris Zuccari. Hmm. Stock futures sleep as producer prices rise more than expected. Hmm. Carvana defined in face of alarms about possible bankruptcy. Doubts about the solvency of the Amazon of used cars have grown enormously. Carvana undoubtedly is facing the biggest crashes in its 10 years of existence. For several weeks, now the online car dealership has been the subject of speculation about its financial condition and the prospect of bankruptcy filing. The private equity firm Apollo Global Management, Freeport, and Pacific Investment Management, known as PIMCO, signed a pact to join negotiations with the company in order to recover their investments. They are part of a group of funds holding about $4 billion of Carvana's unsecured debt. Carvana's $3.3 billion bond due in 2030 trades at roughly 42 cents, down from 79 cents at the start of the year. Our goals are going to be on driving down expense and trying to get positive EBITDA as quickly as we can, the CEO told analysts. Hmm. We got a bunch of committed liquidity, we got a bunch of real estate, and I think that we feel like that puts us in a good position to ride out this storm. We're making great moves inside the company. Okay. At least it looks like a CEO is putting an effort into making it survive in this condition. Okay. A bit that refers to earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, which helps investors gauge a company's financial health. Adjusted EBITDA margin loss increased by 6.2% in the third quarter. The company has between $6 billion and $7 billion in net of the cash on the balance sheet, according to FactSet. Carvana is drastically slashing costs to slow the bleeding. Carvana is drastically slashing costs to slow the bleeding. After cutting 2,500 jobs in May, the company recently announced an additional 8% cut in the workforce, or 1,500 employees. Whether these measures will suffice is uncertain. During December 7, trading Carvana shares lost nearly 43% to $3.83. Yeah. The company is notably facing the aggressive interest rate increase the Federal Reserve put in place to fight inflation. The rate rise is a double whammy for Carvana. Increases the cost of credit for consumers wanting to buy a vehicle, and it also increases borrowing costs for business wanting to invest. So high interest rates makes their business hard because um, it makes difficult for consumers uh, to buy a vehicle, and also increases the borrowing cost for businesses wanting to invest. So high interest rates are bad for Carvana, as the group has allowed that refinancing this debt in this environment will significantly increase its interest payments. Okay. FTC sues to block Microsoft Activision Blizzard acquisition. Time to sell your stocks. Hmm. Is Signature Bank making the right move by reducing its crypto deposit exposure? Nike stock. Hmm. News emerged Thursday that the FTC will be challenging Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard in court. The FTC alleged that the deal would hurt competition in the gaming industry and allow Microsoft to suppress its rivals in the space. Microsoft has been making concessions in hopes of getting the deal closed and says it's confident it can win in court. The Federal Trade Commission announced Thursday it would be suing to block Microsoft's acquisition of video game publisher Activision Blizzard. Hmm. Microsoft may be able to bolster in case in the FTC suit by pointing out its willingness to make concessions and highlighting competition from gaming-focused companies and other tech giants. Hmm. The shoe titan is facing controversy about some of its brand ambassadors. Nike is making inroads in the metaverse, launching collectible sneakers with proof of ownership on an NFT. The company's second quarter earnings report is coming up in less than 2 weeks. Nike has a lot to prove. Car dealerships brash for bed. Mm. Shares of PayPal have fallen more sharply during the ongoing sell-off than any other time since 2015. PayPal is the most accepted digital payment provider in North America and Europe, and its two-sided platform is a significant competitive advantage. PayPal recently struck deals with Apple and Amazon that could help it gain share in physical and digital retail. The fintech growth stock could rebound sharply during the next bull market. PayPal. Economic uncertainty has battered the stock market this year, sparking recession fears that have driven the S&P 500 and Nasdaq Composite into bear market territory. During that downturn, um, PayPal Holdings has seen its share price nosedive 76%, making its greatest loss of value since it became a public company in 2015. It's the most accepted digital wallet in North America and Europe. PayPal operates a two-sided payment network with 432 million active accounts, including 397 million consumers and 35 million merchants. That scale makes the fintech company a formidable player in the digital payment space, but its ability to build the relationships with merchants and consumers is also an important asset. Unlike traditional payment processors, PayPal often has data from both sides of a transaction. So what? Understanding how consumers spend money helps the company drive sales for merchants, combat fraud, and mitigate risk. For instance, loss rates on its buy now, pay later service rank among the lowest in the industry. Yet PayPal is one of the largest BNPL providers in the world. Additionally, the company can connect consumers with relevant shopping deals through its digital wallets to generate leads a bit for businesses. And you can provide shopping insights to sellers to help them optimize their websites. In a nutshell, the two-sided nature of the platform creates material value for merchants, as evidenced by PayPal's position as the most accepted digital wallet in North America and Europe. Additionally, because the company has built trust with consumers, PayPal actually boosts conversion rates, total spend, and repeat purchase for merchants too. Management is executing on a solid growth strategy. That competitive advantage continued to drive growth in the third quarter. Though the challenging economic environment was still a headwind, revenue climbed 11% to $6.8 billion, and free cash flow jumped 37% to $1.8 billion. Better yet, PayPal is well positioned for future growth. Management put its addressable market at $110 trillion. Juniper Research says digital wallet users will grow 53% to 5.2 billion by 2026. That rattles investors, but the strategy makes sense given the difficult economic climate. PayPal can invest more aggressively in a new user growth when inflation cools and consumer spending normalizes. Investment will be focused on areas where the company has a tremendous advantage due to the scale of its two-sided network. That includes the PayPal and the Venmo digital wallets, PayPal Checkout, and Braintree. Also said the company will reduce its cost structure, saving $900 million this year and $1.3 billion in 2023. That will boost its operating margin by at least 1 percentage point next year. Investors can already see the impact of the new growth strategy in action. PayPal reported a GAAP operating margin of 16.3% in the third quarter, its best margin in the last four quarters. Better yet, the company recently deepened its ties with Apple and Amazon. U.S. merchants will soon be able to use Apple's tap to pay technology in the PayPal and Venmo iOS apps. And U.S. consumers will be able to add PayPal and Venmo branded cards to their Apple Wallet next year. That could drive market share gains in physical retail. As Apple Pay is the leading mobile payment platform, the US similarly. Venmo is now a payment option for US consumers shopping on Amazon. Shares of PayPal currently trade at 3.2 times sales. The multiple is just above its all-time low of 3.1 times sales. I think I have to pay more PayPal because the price of PayPal is so cheap at this point. Hmm. Taiwan Semiconductor's Arizona fab could mean big ones for two other chip stocks. Hmm. Taiwan Semiconductors will be investing $40 billion in the state of Arizona to boost chip production. The numbers are big, but the two Arizona facilities will be a drop in the global chip production bucket. Some of the best ways to play this movement could be chip equipment providers, applied materials, and ASML. Some of the best ways to play this movement could be chip equipment providers. Taiwan Semi's expansion to the US is a big deal, but there are ways to profit during construction. There's plenty of worry out there about what would happen to the global economy if China ever made a more aggressive military push to take back the island of Taiwan. Amid this worry, many companies and government organizations have been pushing Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing, far and away the largest chip foundry on the planet, and a recent addition to Warren Buffett's stock portfolio to diversify production into other countries. Lo and behold, Taiwan Semi just announced a second fab in the state of Arizona over a year before its first facility there is complete. The total investment in the two fabs will be in the ballpark of $40 billion. Taiwan Semi said its first fab will begin cranking out silicon wafers in 2024 using an enhanced version of its 5 nanometer manufacturing technology. The second fab will start production in 2026 using 3 nanometer tech. Together, the company said it could produce 600,000 silicon wafers a year at max capacity. Another booming chip demand is coming. Okay. Okay, this is it for today. I did it really short tonight because I actually didn't feel like I wanted to do it tonight, but I felt like I gotta do what I gotta do, and I just turned it on. Okay, this is it for today. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Okay, bye bye.